Hello everyone, we are here with Dan Greenewald, which is the creative director and the mind behind the Forza franchise. And we're going to ask him a few questions about the franchise and Forza Horizon 2. So, the first question I want to ask is, what percentage of the Turn 10 team is involved in Forza Horizon 2? I doubt it's the whole team, right?
That's a good question. In the building at Turn 10, there's 250 people, and I'm not sure what percentage is. There's a team dedicated to working with them, and then also we share a code base, the graphics engine, the AI, the physics engine. It's a shared code base, and that means that we can actually move developers over to solve hard problems. So if Playground runs into a particularly difficult problem, we can shift over 10, 15 people for a week or a month or 3 months to help solve it. And same thing when we run into a tough problem at Turn 10, Playground can shift resources over. It's really the strength of having a shared code base is that problem solving.
So basically you're collaborating in two ways.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we collaborate very deeply, and it comes from a cultural sharing. We think about racing games the same way. We think about innovation in a similar way. We're located in different locations, but we're really aligned in what we think the future of gaming should be. It's about car culture. It's about gaming culture. So while the games are different, Forza Horizon 2 and Forza Motorsport 5, they come at cars from a different direction. One's about precision, one's about freedom. While they come from different directions, the heart is in the same place. The car is the star. It's all about that passion for cars and racing.
There is the introduction of weather in Forza Horizon 2 is one of the biggest things probably for the franchise. Do you think it's a game changer?
The weather in Forza Horizon 2 is great. It looks amazing. It really brings Southern Europe to life. You see the storms roll in across the Mediterranean. You can see the water bead, the windshield wipers working. The cobblestones really show off our material shaders. So you see the imperfections of the cobblestone when they reflect. So we're really excited to see the addition of rain. And night, which was in the original Horizon, is back, but it looks way better than ever. I mean, there's so many light sources. The lights rolling over the car. It looks incredible. But it's what kind of gameplay you can get out of that really changes it. Being able to drive in the wet and hear the sounds change, and the slip angle of the car is different, drifting through traffic. It makes a game feel more diverse, even if you're on the same road that you were 5 minutes ago, but now it's raining or now it's night. The game really changes.
There is another racing game that's coming out for Xbox One. It's pretty much almost at the same time as Forza Horizon 2, which is Project Cars. Have you tried it? And if you did, do you think it's a good complement for Forza Horizon 2, like another aspect of racing, and they go well together since they are very different?
Well, I'm a racing gamer, I'm a racing developer. So yes, I play most racing games. I've played Project Cars, I've played a lot of the recent racing games of this generation, mostly of last generation, because honestly we're waiting for a lot of the racing games to make their way onto this generation. I think Project Cars is great. I mean, I haven't played it on a console. I only played the PC version that was going around. But honestly, I'm always rooting for the other game teams because our vision is the same. We want to get people excited about cars and racing. So I hope they do great.
Forza Horizon 2 is probably the first cross-generation game, which is actually completely different between the two consoles. Like normally cross-generation games are held back by the older console. If you look at games like Watch Dogs or so, they probably could have done better if it was only on the new consoles. While Forza Horizon 2 is different, uses a different engine. Was that an idea that was made? Was that a decision made from the very beginning of development, or it came later, seeing the results?
From the very beginning, we knew that we wanted Playground to be working on Forza Horizon 2 on the Xbox One, to really showcase what the Xbox One and Xbox Live and the power of the cloud could do. And they came up with tremendous ideas, things we're showcasing this week, with social features, as well as you already mentioned, rain, the way that looks. So a lot of the things they worked on were very exclusive to the Xbox One. The developer Sumo, who was making the 360 version, was using the Horizon 1 engine that was originally developed by Playground Games for the 360. And they're building a game that is in the same location and has the same feel, but it's a different game. And we knew from the beginning that the different teams would focus on different generations.
Recently, Microsoft freed up some resources that were originally used for Kinect. As a developer, what do you think about that? Did it help with Forza Horizon to achieve the goals that the team aimed at, graphically and frame rate?
So the thing that's great about the Xbox platform is it's always evolving. So the OS is getting smaller, things change. This happened on the 360 as well, that we actually saw optimizations that were at the console level. And of course our engine, we optimized our engine, we learned new tricks. So if you look, Forza Motorsport 2 to 3 to 4 to Horizon 1, the games got better and better looking, and the hardware stayed pretty much the same. So that's really what you can see on the Xbox One as well. We're going to have optimizations on the actual core box. We're going to have optimizations on our engine. The games are going to get better and better and better looking. It's not something you really count on any one specific change, but you can count on there always be optimizations. It's a big part of your workload when you work on a stable platform. I'm not sure how to answer your question exactly.
Sorry?
Could you repeat your question? I think I got off topic.
The question was mostly if it helped with Forza Horizon 2, since it's a big open world game, if it helped actually achieve the goals that the team was aiming at graphically.
Any power helps, sure, but I think most of the gains come through optimizing your own code. And so that's really what we focus on. We focus on making our code more optimized, really figuring out the tricks, the tips, the ways to work. And as a first-party studio, we share a lot of our work with other studios, third-party as well. And we benefit from getting like, hey, we were using the memory this way, and how'd you set up your shaders, what is the order? We're able to pull that into our game and make the games faster. So that's where we really look for the power, and that's where we got the biggest benefits on Horizon 2.
Forza Horizon 2 seems a real, kind of like Forza Horizon 1, but probably amplified, a real representation of car culture. Maybe with a little more freedom than the Forza Motorsport franchise, which is a little limited to close courses. So, do you actually think the Forza Horizon and the Forza Motorsport franchise will maybe evolve a little more towards that kind of approach with a little more freedom, or you think it's better to keep the Forza Horizon and the Forza Motorsports franchises completely separated, besides the common code base, of course?
The vision for Forza Motorsport is really about competition, it's about precision, it's about accuracy, it's about demanding perfection of yourself as a gamer and as a driver. And that's at the heart of what motorsport means. I don't mean the word, what I mean is that franchise, the motorsport franchise. Horizon is about freedom. It's about freedom and fun and social and that summer music festival vibe. The goal is not to blend those two. The goal is to have the two stand strong together, creating a larger franchise for Forza. It means Forza is ubiquitous with cars, car culture, gaming culture. So I wouldn't want the two to blend into each other. I want them to get stronger and stronger in their own self-realization of what it means to be a true cutting-edge motorsport title and a true open and free Horizon title.
Did you learn something that you may use in a future Forza Motorsports game by working in Forza Horizon 2?
Both teams learn a tremendous amount. We have a shared code base. We move developers, we move creative ideas back and forth between the two teams. There's always new code and new ideas going between the two. There's not one thing to really point at, honestly. The teams aren't one team, it's two teams still. But we share so much, we have very common thoughts and ideas and the like. Yeah, there's not really one thing I would point to besides the general quality of the game. When you look at the weather that came into Forza Horizon 2, it's built using the same image-based lighting and the same material tech that we see in Forza Motorsport 5. So it's using the technology from one game and making that technology even greater, because when you make that cobblestone wet, those imperfections that were a hallmark of 5 become even more exaggerated and cool and noticeable in Horizon 2.
So do you think theorizing that there is going to be a Forza Motorsports 6, do you think we could see the weather in that one?
Well, the big thing we're talking about today is there's 6 new cars coming to Forza Motorsport 5, and Forza Horizon 2 will be available September 30th, which is not yet. So really the future of Forza is Forza Horizon 2.
But I more was thinking about, would you like that as a gamer mostly, even more than a developer?
Would I like what?
Would you like to have weather in the Forza Motorsports franchise, or do you think it doesn't really have a place in that?
I think
one?
weather is fantastic in Forza Horizon 2, and I think if you haven't gotten a chance to play it, you should go
I did.
play it. Yeah, I mean, it drives great. When you're driving through the rain, the sound of it's tremendous, and it changes the gameplay as well. So I think it's a great fit for Forza Horizon.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure and honor.
You bet.